What's up guys, and welcome to another quickie tutorial. I'm going to be doing quite a few tutorials from now on, and the first one is quite a doozy. I'm going to be showing you how to make a thumbnail for YouTube. Now, the first thing you have to do is click on Image, Canvas Size, and make sure you change the width to 1280 by 720. And what I would do next is open up a new layer. I'm going to be visualizing the mouse clicks, by the way, this time, so hopefully you're able to see what buttons I'm clicking on better. Click on background, and then delete this layer. There are three main things you need to consider in a thumbnail: images, text, and flair or design. Everyone's going to make a different type of thumbnail. This is just going to be a generic thing to show what a thumbnail could look like. However, everyone needs to add their own style so that it'll stand out in a crowd. You can't have all thumbnails looking the same. So I'm just going to show you the basics and you can work from there. First of all, I would add a new layer so you can individually work with things, or you can work with this layer and add new layers later. But don't worry about that. And I would add text first, whatever type of video you're doing. I'm sorry if a lot of people don't like this, but I'm going to go with the Minecraft for now as a style. I'm not sure if I have a Minecraft font. I don't think I do. So I'm going to go with a pixel font, because I have a couple pixel fonts. So I'm going to go with a big pixel font and go in with Minecraft. Okay, then you can resize it to whatever size you want for the text, and then if you want to rotate the text, click the move pixels, right click and turn, or if you only want to rotate certain parts, click the rectangle select tool to select a part and then rotate it. Be careful though, because it'll overwrite other parts, so be careful about that. There are ways to make it so it won't, but I won't go too advanced this time. So once you rotate it the correct way and have it set in a position you want it to be, you can add design to your text. There are different ways to do this. I'm not going to show you exactly the way I use because I don't want everyone to copy the method I use. However, one method that a lot of people know how to do is just hold shift with the magic wand tool and click on the text, and then click on the gradient tool. Find gradients you want, whatever colors you think would look nice. Change the type of gradient. I'm going to use linear because that usually looks the best on text like this. And then you can generally just move it around like this and it'll give it a nice color. If you hold shift, it'll go in straight lines in different directions, but if you have your text sideways like I do, it's best not to hold shift and just do it manually. So there you go. You have a nice bold text. I would also outline it. I would recommend that so that it's much more visible in a thumbnail, otherwise it could blend in with the background. So I would recommend duplicating this layer and then selecting the bucket tool and putting whatever color you want to outline it in. Whether it be white or black, I'm going to outline it black. And then hold shift with the magic wand and click anywhere other than the text. Then click the rectangle select tool. Then hold control, right click and drag across. What that'll do is select only this text. And then you can use the paint bucket tool, or you can use the gradient tool, which I generally use. If you have your primary and secondary the same color, using the gradient will just color it all in. Then move this layer down, go to effects, blurs, and I'm using the same method I used in my in my outlining tutorial to outline text. So give it whatever bold you want, or whatever blur you want, and then keep on clicking duplicate twice and merge layer down twice, repeatedly and repeatedly, until you see it looks like a solid line, and that gives you a nice outline on your text. Next, you need some sort of an image or background. You can't just have this blank background, because then it will just be a white background pretty much if you leave it like this, and that's not going to work for a YouTube thumbnail for it to stand out. So you need to add some sort of background. I'm going to find a good picture for Minecraft and I'll be back. You can get images either through downloading them online or taking screenshots in-game using screenshot programs, stuff like that. I found an image and I saved it to my desktop. Ignore this fried chicken and Herobrine! But here, I have an image of Minecraft right here. And basically just click on this move selected pixels tool, hold Control and C when you're on it to copy it, and then go back to the bottom layer. See, this is why I left it blank, because I generally add my picture here. Press Control V and then paste it. That pastes the picture, and click keep canvas size. Otherwise it'll resize the whole thing and it'll mess it up. Then you can stretch it out so it covers up everything, and you can have it as the background. Make sure it fits perfectly, and now you have it here, but you see it kind of overrides the text. So I would recommend giving it a nice little blur. Go to Effects, Gaussian Blur again. And I generally give it a 15 blur. You can give it less if you want. Hold Control Z to undo what you did, by the way. And then once you give it the blur you want, Now you need to add one or two more things to make it stand out. First of all, you can add another text if you want. Say over in the corner, you want to add what episode it is. I can say number 1. And then you use the same method as you did for this text, except you can use whatever colors you want. Here, I'll select it and I'll make it blue this time. A type of blue. And this I'll make it blur across, like this. And then I'll give it a white outline. This probably won't look too good right now, but remember, you can work on it your own way in the future. By the way, to change between primary and secondary colors, just click on them and then you can change them individually. You're going to need to use that for a lot of things. So there we go. Now that you have another layer blurred, you can just give it the outline again. It'll be a nice white outline in contrast to the black outline up there. There we go. For the final thing you may want to add, you may see that this area over to the right is very much blank. If you want to add another kind of an image there, you can. So I'm going to find a nice Minecraft image to add into that area. So as you can see, I got too lazy to find my own image, so I got Herobrine that I already had saved. And I'm going to also give him an outline, but I'm going to give him a very much a different type of outline. Use the same method as I used before. I'm going to give him a black outline, actually. And open up a new layer, make him black, that's not racist, and blur him. Except this time, I am not actually going to make an outline. I'm just going to give him a shadow, because he needs to look sinister, because he's Herobrine. And there you have it. That's kind of how you make a thumbnail. You can add your own effects to it and make it look however beautiful you want. You can work on it with your own way. There's all sorts of tools here. I'm sure you can figure most of them out. With the paintbrush tool, you can just draw. With the text tool, you make text. You can make lines with this. That's what I use often whenever I need to outline things. If I have to be very detailed, not like outlining like I did with the text, but say the magic wand tool isn't working correctly because of the mix of colors in a picture and I want to separate something, I use the line tool. I'll do another video about that later on, don't you worry about it. And there's all sorts of selector tools and stuff, so work with it in your own way and you can make a beautiful thumbnail for YouTube that'll stand out above all the rest. Once you're done making your beautiful thumbnail, make sure you click File, Save As, and save it as a JPEG image. And title it whatever you want, such as Herobrine OMG oh my god, wow, Doge. And then click Save wherever you want to save it. And make sure you have the quality at max. That'll make it look the best, even though most people won't be able to tell since it shrinks it so much. Keep in mind, everything is shrunk a lot in a YouTube thumbnail, so anything you make really small probably won't show up, so there's no point. That's why you have to make all your text large and everything really clearly visible. So once this pops up, make sure you click Flatten. That'll save it and flatten the image so that it's all in one layer. If you want to save it again as a paint.net, so yeah, you can edit it later, you can press Ctrl Z and it'll unflatten everything, and you can continue to work with it. Anyway, that's about it for making a YouTube thumbnail. Then next time you upload a video, you can just add this thumbnail or whichever one you made, and it'll stand out way more in a crowd of videos. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and found it useful. If you did, I'd appreciate a like or a subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. See you all later.